What up? What up? What up? It's Tommy Runs,
I'm Aaron Worldwide.
and this is the PR Project Season 3, Episode technically 2. First one was a little quick intro. We introduced you to a few different things, and you know we have this other guy that is going to be like our seasoned guest, and once we bring him on the show, it feels weird to like send him away because like he's so involved in all that stuff. So once we bring this other person on the show, he's just going to stick around to the end of the show. But yeah, so basically what we want you guys to do is make sure that you hit the subscribe button on this YouTube channel because we want to get to that 500. Who knows what crazy things can happen after 500. Make sure you share this, tell a friend, all that good stuff. Gary, while you're behind stage, make sure you take a picture of this setup and then send it to your Instagram followers because the guy who's going to be on the show, his name is Gary. He's basically a viral like entity now.
Yeah.
I mean, in a good way. When it comes to like Instagram.
It was tough to book this guy, man. His price went up since the last episode.
Last episode, like we missed 1 week, and all of a sudden he's like talking about today's price is not yesterday's price, whatever.
All kind of crazy Hollywood nonsense.
Right. All of a sudden he's charging per hour, and we're like, yo, we're just gonna have you on 15 minutes. What's it cost? It's really crazy.
Sent a contract. I couldn't believe it.
I know, right? Talking about NDAs and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, chill, man, chill. We're not even
talking to his booking agent. I don't know. It was crazy, man. Crazy.
I didn't even know Joe is his booking agent. That's the craziest part. Like Joe got his hands in everything. But yeah, you guys, we are back and live in full effect. The PR Project episode number 2, season 3. Before we get started, we might as well just jump into it. We're going to talk a little bit about, catch you guys up a little bit about our training right now, the training recap. And with that, no further ado, I'm going to stop putting you guys on ice. Here is the Instagram viral success himself. Gary is a runner. Hi, Gary.
Hey, what's going on? I was going to get my sunglasses. I have them on, but I couldn't get to them in time.
Yeah, you're so Hollywood. You were
Louis V millionaires on just to, what I'm saying, keep the haters away. I feel you. He's recording with a potato right now, for the record.
Let's take off this training like recap little thing here. Let's talk about what are we talking about here? When we say Gary is a runner has gone viral, can you catch up a little listeners and watchers to about this phenomenon?
Yeah, there's
struggling.
I thought it was actually your driveway of all things.
I'm kicking him off. I can't do it. All right, so Gary is a runner. I know you can hear me, but you might. I think one of your children is watching like something on Netflix, pretty heavy or something. Your internet's really wigging out. But I'll try in a second. Just yell to tell your kids to stop surfing the internets. All right, let's try it one more time. I just had to stop you. Can you hear me, Gary?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Just talk slow.
All right. No, I was going back to the reel. It was something I filmed in your driveway, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting warmed up for a run, and I found some fun audio that fit with it, and it blew up. I think I posted it, and then it blew up like a week or two later, and that's 3 weeks ago now, maybe.
Yeah, it seems like and so like, how many views are you at like as we speak?
968,000.
968,000 views. So if you're listening to this, go to Instagram. Gary is a runner, and scroll down to his reels, and this one it'll have a bunch of numbers. It says 900 and something. Watch it a few hundred times.
Yeah,
we want to get this man to 1 million views. How's it feel to be an overnight success here?
Comfortable.
I don't know how you sleep at night. I sleep like a baby. All right, man. Let's get into it. So what are you guys? Because you guys are training for the Eugene Marathon, which is on April 30th. Aaron, let's talk to me about what week y'all are on and how you are feeling so far with this training block.
All right. We are on technically week 2 of training. We are 12 weeks out from race day. I feel good, but if I'm going to be 100% transparent about things, I feel behind. I feel like I'm trying to play catch up with you and Gary, especially after today, and y'all just like got after it on the long run. And I'm just like, man, I have some work to do. I have work cut out for me to get back to the level that I was at. But they say you should never compare yourself to your last marathon. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And it's not a good thing. So I'm working on that and just trying to take the process one step at a time. But yeah, I feel really out of shape. And yeah, it's just strange kind of feeling like I kind of extended my marathon fitness out a little further than normal by doing the second marathon to kind of try to redeem myself from New York. And I knew I had to take some time to get into the off-season phase and kind of let my fitness drop back down in order to properly go through the cycle. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to feel like you took a step back. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, just trying to rebuild and be okay with where my current fitness is. So yeah, just trying to figure it out, man.
What about you, Gary?
I think I'm coming in different from when Aaron came in. You know, I had a 3-week break after Chicago, and then I did a 8 to 10 week block of just base building, 40 miles a week, some workouts here and there. And I rested as much as I could. So if I missed a run or missed a workout, I wasn't going to stress out about it. So now that we're into training, I feel like that base fitness is coming in handy. Those workouts I did come in handy, and I'm feeling good. I don't want to be, super confident because we're only 2 weeks in, but I'm feeling everything's on point. Plus my legs are feeling a lot better than they have in a while. So
yeah,
I'm doing a proper recovery, proper strength training, more strength training than I usually do anyway. So
yeah, well that's good. Oh dang, this boy switched it all the way up on us. But yeah, like that's I kind of like, I know we was talking about that too, Aaron, like how you kind of feel like you're just a little bit behind or whatever. But like I feel like the crazy thing is like, because you're so, you're not like, it didn't just happen the other day, but like Gary had this like whole ramp up, and I started ramping up way before you. I feel like one day it's just gonna like all of a sudden just click. Like I don't think you're gonna have to like slow grind it all the way until the marathon. Like I feel like one day it's just gonna be like, oh yeah, like that's.
Yeah, for sure. Gary ran his last race in October, right? And you ran New York in November, and I ran Jacksonville in December. So
yeah, we're a whole month ahead, pretty much.
Yeah. You guys gotta, like they say, comparison is a thief of joy, right? So I gotta stop comparing myself to you guys. But yeah, it's tough.
I know it's tough. I know it's tough.
So it's easier said than done.
Yeah, no. But like, so like, what would be your, even though you're in it right now, like, what would be your advice to somebody, maybe not comparing themselves to somebody else, but like they're in their marathon training block and things aren't going like exactly like they want them to right now? Like, what would be, and it's kind of early, all these spring marathons, everything's either like first, second, or third week, really. What would be your advice for other people?
I would say, is your race tomorrow? And they would say no. And then I'm like, well, that means you got time.
Dang it.
So
spot on.
It's like very straightforward and kind of harsh, like an old guy would deliver it, but sometimes you need that like blunt, just like realness. So yeah, no, my race isn't tomorrow, so I don't need to be race fit today.
Speaking of old guy.
Wow.
What do you think, Gary?
As I see all the gray in my beard pop out.
Right.
No, I agree with Aaron. It's it's cliche, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's why we have all these weeks to build up. And and if you need to adjust your paces or training for somebody who's not feeling it, then adjust and then move on. And as you feel better, you get faster.
Yeah.
And you readjust.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. For me too. Like I feel like it's come back to one of those things where it's like, you can't necessarily control like how you feel like in some of your runs, but like if you feel like you should be farther along or something like that, then I guess I go through like a checklist too of like things that maybe you could do to help out. Like, are you eating enough, or are you getting enough sleep, or like just random things that like, are you eating properly? Like random things that maybe you could do to possibly help. In Aaron's case, I mean, I think you are, if we had all been in the same boat, we'd all be in the same, like, like we'd all be in the same level of fitness. But it's like, for some people, that's like, everything's not, I just bombed my workout or this or that. It's like, what did you eat the day before? How much did you sleep? And if those are all like perfect, then maybe, then you just take a step back and just say like, okay, let me just ease into this. But sometimes you can kind of counteract it with like, oh, maybe I didn't even drink enough water. Maybe like work is stressing me out, or life or whatever. There's so many other factors. So it's no point in beating yourself up. Also because the marathon isn't tomorrow and you have weeks and weeks and weeks to figure it out.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And then so like I was, because what this next segment or part of this thing was like kind of like this training thing, because we've all kind of had like these conversations about like what this block kind of not means to us, but how we're going to approach it differently. Like, so what's like the word or like the mindset that you are going into this training block with that you think is different than like the last one? I'll start. So for me, for like the reason, because like in the beginning of this block, like I wanted to like reach, a little bit with everything that's going on. Like I want to reach a little farther. So I got with my coach and was like, hey, like what I want to add like another layer of difficulty or in challenge, and that requires more grit or requires more speed or strength or whatever. So like I think my word would probably be reach a little bit. Like even in like the half marathon that I did, like I was kind of surprised. Normally it's like, oh, just go out at this pace and progressively get easy. She was just like, go for it, like do whatever you got to do and be smart, but try to just go get after it a little bit. Which is different than in the past. So she's like on board with me, like reaching for this new level. Because if you train the same way all the time and you just kind of repeat the same motions just a little faster because you're getting stronger, I just don't know if you have like those breakthroughs that you want. Like, so I think in order to break through, you have to reach. And that's my thing right now, is just kind of reaching.
I'd say mine is relax, because I get worked up over the smallest things sometimes in training. So just relax and know that like everything isn't the end of the world, and one bad workout or one weird feeling, like one weird feeling in the leg isn't the end of the world, or just, what I'm saying, just relax. Just like training is about the totality of training. It's not about one day. It's not about one workout. It's not about one run. It's not about one bad day in the office or anything like that. It's just like, relax, let the training come to you, and trust the process. You'll be fit when you're supposed to be fit.
I'm going to continue with the theme of the R's. I'm going to say renew.
Reach, relax, renew. I like this.
Yeah. I mean, I've not been shy that, I didn't have the best 2022. I mean, it was fine. No PRs or anything. I ran well. It wasn't what I wanted. This is the new year to renew, and going back to the training block, like you have a bad workout, great. You got another one coming up next week to redeem yourself, another R. So, for me, this year is about renewing, and getting after it.
Yeah. I like that too. I mean, and that's like, I think like last year, I think we all had good years last year, like solid years. And Aaron, you said something to me a while back, like, I mentioned like somebody on Instagram, like comparison is the thief of joy or whatever. But I mentioned somebody on Instagram, like, dang, they getting after it. And he was like, that's dope. But remember too, like, not that I needed it, but I did need to hear it. Like, remember, they've been running, some people have been running for 15, 20, some odd years, like their whole lives, and even if you have been running for a long time, like you can't compare. You don't know where someone else is in their journey, and you don't know where your breakthrough or your like renew or whatever will come in to play. Like, so just keeping after it is like, it just seems like it's all kind of like falling in place a little bit. We just got to stay healthy and all that, during this training block. Cause that's the biggest thing too. Also, my second thing is stay healthy, bro. Like, I'm trying my best, like, to do everything. Like, I've been sleeping better. I've been trying to eat differently. Like, if I've been foam rolling. Like, I'm a maniac over here. Like, I'm an actual runner now.
So you're not a poser like you once were when you ran 248?
Yeah, I was a poser. Like, I was a poser. Like, I was like, oh yeah, you got to do this and this. I wasn't doing none of that stuff. Like the Run Eat Sleep show, I was talking about all that stuff and never was doing none of the stuff. Never sleeping. But yeah, like, I mean, you got to do all the things that you can do, like, to try to get, to move on to that next step. But I like the renew because it's like this whole, like you said, Aaron, like you can't bring the last marathon or the last training block to this one. It's all different. You're a different person. It's a different time. You just got to get after it. Start from today.
Yeah.
All right. So like this. Oh, you want me to do? I should do the Miami recap, huh?
Yeah, you probably should.
I'll do the Miami half recap. Last weekend or the weekend. Yeah, last weekend I ran the Miami half marathon. Hoka did the honors and pleasure or whatever of having me come down and help them debut this new shoe that they have. It's the Hoka Rocket X2. So I went down there with normally I wouldn't run a half marathon this early in like a training block. Normally like the tune-up race or the simulator race would be, like 3-4 weeks out from a marathon. So it was just different to have a half marathon this early in this process. So I was kind of wondering like what would be the goal? Like, am I going to go after it or am I going to like just use it as a long run or whatever? And then when I talked to my coach, she was like, yeah, just go ahead, go after it. I was excited to get down there. So we got down there, ran this thing called Take the Bridge, which is really dope, a really fun event that they do like at night in different cities. And they have like, it's a 2 checkpoint race. So you just like, you find out where the checkpoints are once you register on course, and then you run and find the thing at night and you go to the next one, all that. So it's a really great time. Rested on Saturday. Mind you, this is Miami, Florida. We're coming from Michigan where the weather was like 20s or 30 degrees. We've been training in colder weather. So like obviously the Miami weather was going to be somewhat of an issue or at least like a factor. So I tried my best to like prepare for that, drink enough water, and then also kind of think about the race strategy a little bit and try my best to like throw caution to the wind but then also get after it like I kind of wanted to. So race morning comes, I feel great. I feel super confident in that half marathon pace. And I was planning on getting out around like 6:10 to 6:05 or something like that. And then just hold that for forever or for as long as possible. And it didn't work out quite like that. So I'll just start from the beginning. We got out. There's a bridge. I think the starting temperature for the day was 72 degrees, 70% humidity. In the morning at 6 a.m. So it was no sun, but it was still super humid and hot. And within the first mile, there's a bridge. I think it's like maybe like 0.6 or 7 out, Aaron, something like that. Maybe half mile out.
Yeah.
It might not even be that really.
No, it's not. It's more like third of a mile out, probably.
Yeah, like so it's like it's a decent bridge though too. It's like it's the only issue on the course really, but it's a nice decent bridge right in the beginning of the race. And so I took that bridge and I was like decent. And I was kind of pulling back a little bit. I was at like 6:20 pace, and then for some reason I had this moment like where I reminded myself like to get after it. So like right at the top of the bridge, like right before we crested, I just hit the gas, got down to six flat, and then kind of sailed and used like the free speed on the way down and never slowed down from there. And then right at that moment, as soon as I made that move, a bunch of about 7 or 8 guys kind of just went with me. So from mile 1 to 7, it was like this dope pack of like 10 dudes just like hawking, bro. Like it was probably the most fun and most torturous fun that I've ever had, like in a race, because it's just, you don't normally get to run with that many people that fast in a race, you know, or I hadn't in the past yet. So that was really cool. We were, doing well. Around mile 4 or 5, I'm like, it's starting to get really hot. I'm tired. I didn't know how long I could hold this pace, but I wasn't going to stop unless, something drastic happened. I felt like it was comfortable, but I did feel like, and it was a headwind as well, like for the first maybe 4 or 5 miles. So I did feel like I was really pushing just to stay there. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, once this wind turns, we'll be fine. But that was probably later into the race, like maybe mile 10 or 11, once you finally like get to a point where it's at your back. So at mile 7, we dropped down to like 550 something, feeling great. Stopped at grabbed some water at an aid station, drank, like guzzled it real quick. And then got maybe like a quarter mile from that into mile 8 and immediately had to throw up. So warning, sorry. Like immediately had to throw up, pulled over and just like couldn't run for a second, finished that, and then took off again, trying to think I was going to try to catch up to that group. But like there was no way that I was going to catch them, because I would have had to like go, 5:30s for however long to catch up. So I just did my best to just hold a decent pace, and then got to like mile 9 or 10 and threw up again, and then got to like mile like 12 and did it again. So it was, I don't really know what the issue was. I in looking back in like the past, I've had this issue before, but every time that I looked when I did have the issue, I was maybe running faster than my fitness possibly at that moment for an extended period of time. And then possibly maybe overheating as well. Cause I mean, obviously it was like 75 or 76 degrees by the time that happened. So it's like, I think it's a mixture of things. I don't think it's the fueling. I don't think it's the water. I think it's just, pushing yourself to like this edge. And I guess that's how my body reacts to it. So I'm just going to keep running that fast until that pace isn't that hard anymore. And then so like I ended up closing out the race at maybe like 6:15 or 6:17 pace. So I didn't like completely fall apart. I was able to kind of rally a couple different times and keep the pace moving. Finished at an hour and 25 minutes. My goal was like 120 or sub 120. So I was disappointed at first, but then I started like seeing other people that are fit as well and faster than me finish 5, 6, 7 minutes off of what I talked to them about prior to the race. Not that you should be like everybody else, but it just kind of puts it in perspective. Like the heat was an issue, like it is a factor. Like, don't be dumb. And I probably should have gotten out a little slower and played it safer, but I didn't go down there really to play it safe. And who cares? Like if I didn't finish the race, oh well. Like, well, I mean, like we're not doing like we're not doing this for. I'm not getting paid. Like I don't get fined by Nike if I don't finish the race, or if I finish in 50th place or whatever it was, So I just said forget it and went for it. And the one thing that I told Aaron after was like I was like, I was really bummed out at first and all that, because I'm always like super critical, but I'm probably more proud of that race than I am of like most of my other races, other than like the 248, because that's the first time that I like my mind said, "Oh, pull back, don't do this," and I was just like, "No, we're going," and that never happens. I'm always very cautious. I always try to negative split on purpose, so like I really try to hold back. But this year, or this last few races that I've done after the redemption tour, I was like, no, we're not doing that no more. And I mean, I'm gonna try to be smarter, like like in the tune-up race, and I'll try to be smarter in Boston, try to play it out right. But until then, like I'm running to get faster and to get stronger and to put myself in these pain caves as much as possible. And that kind of like goes back to the training plan when I said I want to reach. Like I don't want to like walk away from races, especially in this build-up, thinking that like I could have done something different. You know what I mean? Oh, and then the shoe that I wore, I was like, I don't know if you saw it, but really quickly is this shoe that came out. It's not out yet, but it's going to be coming out pretty soon. This is the Hoka Rocket X2. Quick, I've only run in it maybe 3 times. I did a workout on a treadmill. I did an easy run, and then I did the race. And I would probably say I think that they're onto something. I think that because they had the Carbon X3 and then they had the Rocket X1 or whatever, the original edition, and neither one of those were like anywhere close to where it needed to be to compete against some of these other super shoes. This is not necessarily. I don't think it's like it's not like a knockout of the. It's not like a top 3 for me, but it puts Hoka into like that. I can buy these. I'll buy these shoes because I like Hoka, so I'm a support, and I'm not sacrificing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like it puts it in the maybe top 6. So I think it's maybe like number 5 or 6 for me on the rankings. The top 3 being, well, we're not talking about them right now, but this is a really decent shoe. Nice. It's so much different than like any Hoka that I've seen. Like the build of it, the look, and all that. I think that they're onto something. I hate saying it, but like I think that like if they stick with this direction, the Hoka Rocket X3 will be like their shoe that will finally like be up in the top 5 or in the conversation of top racers.
That's crazy because that shoe, the way it's built, it almost looks small in your hand. Like I know what size.
Yeah.
And that shoe, it looks tiny for some reason. I think it's just how thick the sole is.
Yeah, when I got the shoe, I was like, oh, they sent me the wrong size, you know?
Yeah.
And it is and everybody else said it too. Like they were like, oh, I thought this was gonna be. I mean, it's oddly, it just looks weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks small, but it looks like more like because this is what it was like, and this is the old version. You know, like so they definitely took it to they definitely went to a different look. Like this doesn't even really look like a racing shoe. It looks like more like a casual, maybe it could be like a hoop shoe. I don't know, but they definitely went to like, okay, let's put something on these runners' feet that like challenges, looks dope, and I mean you feel fast when you put these on. I think that they're in the lane of like I mean, I know you guys really like the Metaspeed Sky. Did I go into random mode? You guys well, you got. I know y'all like the. Am I about to snitch on somebody?
Witness protection.
I'm on witness protection. Oh, here we go. Hey, still. But I know y'all like the Metaspeed a lot. So I don't think it's as snappy and fast as the Metaspeed, but on foot, I feel like it kind of reminded me of that because the foam isn't like super bouncy. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of snappy. And the way that they have like the rocker and all that stuff, it's a good shoe. I think people will really like it, especially if you like Hoka and you want to stick with Hoka. You'll be very happy.
Yeah, and I was just looking at your results on Athlinks.
Yeah,
and it says that at the 10K split, you were in 26th place.
Don't tell me that. Damn.
Yeah, you were in 26th place overall. At the 10K split.
That hurts.
So the first split you started at 1,177. By the 5K split you were at 38. 10K split you were at 26. Then 15K split you went back down to 49. 20K split you were at 72. 20.86 you were at 70, and then you finished at 68. So you made up a little bit of ground. In the last few K, but yeah.
Bro, when you fall off, when you moving with like a pack like that, and then you fall off, like when I watch it on TV, and you see like these runners that be with a pack and they kind of fall off or whatever, and I'm like, in your mind, it's like, okay, they can catch up. It's almost impossible to catch that train, bro. Yeah, like you cannot. There's like a force in between y'all that will not let you close that gap unless you just hit this crazy burst of like, I can do this powder or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're fighting against the collective energy of multiple people. It's tough to reel them in.
Yeah, but like that first pullover, it lasts. I think it was like 30 something. It felt like 30 seconds, and that's a long time. Like so if you're somebody moving at 6-minute pace, that's not a quarter mile or nothing like that, but it's long enough where you can't just
a 30-second gap at 6-minute pace is substantial.
Yeah, it's just too much, and it was right near a corner, so I couldn't even see it anymore. I'm like, oh, it's over.
Never to be seen again.
Hey, hold on, real quick. Shame on these. There's some guys that were running, in this like Peloton with us, right? And it was me and this other guy in the front of it, and we were both around the same height.
Are you assuming his gender? You're calling him a guy. You don't know. He's a person.
This dude seemed like a guy.
I'm just joking. That was a bad joke.
He had his name. He had his name on his back. His name was like Alberto or something. But I mean, you never know. But they was next to me. They was short with me, right? And then we was both the same height. And I look back, and there were some other days behind us. They was all taller. And I'm like, y'all need to get up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and every time that one of us would go off to get water, they would come back together
in the same orientation.
And they would go right back into. I'm like, yo, what is y'all doing? Because this one dude, whatever, was next to me earlier on the bridge, and I was like, you trying to do 6 flat pace? And he's like, no, man, I wish, right? That's what he said to me. I'm like, all right, well. And then I thought about it, like after I dropped off, when I seen him keep going, I'm like, you loser. Like he was still with the pack at mile 8. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
he couldn't give up that kind of information.
I hope what all them people did was like, I hope they remember me, you know? Like, man, this one guy really pulled, you know, he really pulled it. Like he sacrificed himself. He threw up and everything. He was a great pacer. I hope they think that I was a pacer for the other day next to me.
Right.
Because he had
I'm sure that they probably don't even remember you. I'm not gonna lie. Like after races, it's like my memory get wiped. Like of all the people that was out there. Like if I see you in the grocery store the next day, I won't know you. Well, I might if I see your face. I might, but.
I mean, I don't know, man.
I saw you during the race, man. Nah, bro. I don't know who you are.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is probably true because the other days that was behind us never saw my face because they were just.
I mean, you have a pretty unique look. They probably.
But you run side by side with somebody in a race. You have no idea what they really look like. You're not looking.
And in Florida, this hair is not necessarily unique. No.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Like as soon as I went, not for this trip, but I went somewhere. I think it was like Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, whatever. As soon as I got off the plane, I seen a fella. I'm like, oh, that's authentic right there. Like he had his design. I'm like, this is amazing. But yeah, so enough of that. I just held up some speed shoes, some race shoes, right? And this evolves all the time. What's your favorite race day speed shoe right now?
I'm still thinking.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, this is the dopest medal. This is the dopest.
Yeah, they do a great job. They do a great job with the medals for sure.
Yeah.
They on their Young Buck vibes because ours did the same. For the 2021, it's fun like that too.
So I guess Kafuzi was telling me that the Lifetime is a sponsor of this.
Yeah.
I guess they have other races in all.
Now move closer.
Oh, yeah, all closer. And all their races have the same big ass whatevers, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, keep talking. What's your favorite race?
Very disrespectful. I haven't ran fast in a while. I ran fast on Wednesday, I guess you could say, relatively fast, marathon pace. And I wore the Alpha Fly 2s. And I've got good feelings about the Alpha Fly 2s because I wore them in Jacksonville. So I guess that would be my favorite speed shoe at the moment, Nike Alpha Fly 2. But I don't know. I haven't ran fast enough lately to have a good gauge on what's hot in the marketplace right now.
We really got to get you an Alpha Fly 1. because I really want to see what you think. Because I haven't run into 2 yet, but
Yeah.
I've heard that some people love the difference and some people hate it.
Yeah. I'm not super picky, so I would probably like it too. But
Yeah.
For now, yeah, I think that would be my choice.
What you got, Gary?
I've been sticking with the Vaporflies. I'll do tempos and like the meta speeds, the original ones, or speed work sometimes, or like long ones with the Atreus artists. But when I want to go fast, I'll do the Vaporflies.
Well, I want to go fast.
Yeah.
Vaporfly. So my favorite right now is probably. I asked the question and I don't even know my answer. I don't know.
That's the way to commit to a side.
Yeah.
You're a great debate show participant.
I should have acted like it was just a question for y'all. What have I been wearing? Oh, I like those Mizuno, what's the name shoes? The Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pros. I like those a lot. I mean, I don't think I'd run a race in them because they're just not they're almost too soft, I think, in a way. But like a lot of workouts and some speed work in there, and they look and feel fast. Like you said today, like if you wear white shoes, you just kind of feel like it's fast. That shoe just kind of make me feel fast, And it get a lot of looks. I ran the 5K in those, and people was like, "What in the world are those?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I like those. It's different. They took a chance. It's kind of a weird looking shoe, weird concept, but it was cool. Cool vibe.
Yeah, they are weird.
A company like that has to make something that's like strange almost. They can't just like jump into the market with the sameness because it's like, why would I get this? Why would I want to buy a Mizuno Vaporfly? Like we're not gonna buy a Nike Vaporfly. So they have to do something different to differentiate themselves. So.
Well, I mean, I feel like Puma kind of like started that thing, because they had those fast R's that were just much different looking. Like they're not even that strange looking now that you've seen them a bunch of times, but because the Alpha Fly kind of is a weird looking shoe too if you kind of look at like the way it's structured. But yeah, Mizuno took that and was like, yeah, no, we got you one. We'll take the heel away. We're gonna take this heel away and see how you guys feel with that. But yeah, I like that companies are like stepping it up and trying to like really bring in some new stuff, Yeah. Oh yeah, no. So yeah, favorite trainer. This is the thing. Like I was gonna do like a favorite trainer of like 2022, but what's your like favorite go-to trainer right at this moment? Ooh.
Balance. Fuel Cell, more before. Easy. Is this Fuel Cell? I don't know. This is Fresh Foam. Fresh Foam, more before.
Yeah.
So this guy right here gets a nice amount of mileage out of me. And also gotta take the Homer pick, Gotta give me 1 second. Let me make sure I'm not besmirching the good name. Tracksmith.
Let me give you. I'm sorry. Let me. I can give you the proper respect on that first one and this one. Okay.
I ain't no capper. I'm not a poser. I got a little work on them. I've been trying to like stretch them out a little bit. I don't want to put a bunch of miles on them at one time, but I did some easy days in them, and I did a long run in them last week, and I really enjoy them. They are super comfy, but not like overdone. A very solid entry into the game by Tracksmith. So,
I get a lot of questions on those. Like, what's your like? If somebody's like, "Hey, how do you like those shoes? What do you or why do you like them or something?" Like, what are you talking about with those?
I think they're just like perfectly normal. Like they aren't like super anything, but just normal. Like they're reliable. They aren't trying to do too much. They aren't trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just a good classic running shoe, and I can appreciate that. And they look good. And like you said, I feel faster when I'm in white shoes. So, but this feels very much like a like an art piece almost, because like what's behind it, it's Tracksmith's foray into the footwear market. So it's like I feel a certain amount of prestige in the shoe. So yeah, but overall, it's just a very solid trainer that you could take out for a long run and take out for probably interval and all kinds of stuff, and it'll just give you that reliability of a classic running shoe. Not too much bells and whistles, not a crazy lacing system, not a super futuristic heel drop, nothing like that. Just a classic running shoe that you can take out with you and not have to worry about readjusting or is my foot strike correct? Like none of that. Just solid, straight down the middle kind of shoe.
Yeah, very tracksmithy.
Absolutely.
To be like
the brand for sure.
To be like, this is a running shoe, and that's it. Like
they could have wrote that on the box. This is Tracksmith's running shoe.
Exactly. What's a favorite trainer for you right now, Gary?
If I've been pulling out the Saucony Speed 2s quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's an older model, but they're comfortable. I can pick them up if I need to, pick up the pace. I never have any issues in terms of like legs aching afterwards. I feel good when I get done with a race or the run. I really been enjoying them.
I used to when I first got my hands on the Speed 2s, I used to the days like a Monday after a big long run, I'd pull out the Speed 2s just to do like an easy run because they just were so comfortable, and the way that they're structured with like that nylon plate or something like that, it just felt like gravy after a big effort.
Yeah.
Perfect. And like you said, you could pick them up a little bit too.
Yep.
All right. So for me, I'm going with the Asics Super Blast. Mm-hmm. So this is like one of those it's a polarizing shoe. A lot of people are like, this is ridiculous. Why does it cost so much? But once everyone that I know that has put this shoe on and put some miles on it more than once loves this shoe and like ride or die for this shoe. When I tell you that, like, how your legs are trash, and you just know like today is going to be a crappy run because my legs are trash. I'll put these on, and I'm telling you, if I wore any other shoe, I would have an issue that day. But they're super light. They're actually lighter than the Nova Blast 3. They're higher stack. They got more pop to me. They're kind of like a weird mix between like a Nova Blast and a Metaspeed Sky because of that, like because it has the same type of foam. And the shoe just does like everything for me. And I've seen people do a lot of marathons in these. They're illegal technically because the stack, I think it's like a 42 or something like that, 42 millimeter in the heel, which is 2 millimeters over the legal height for the U.S. track and field or whatever. But you're not placing in a major marathon or anything like that, so no one cares. So if you want a shoe that can do all the things, what was that?
You mean to tell me that there aren't shoe investigators on the course when you run a marathon?
There's definitely marathon investigators. So if you wear, if you wear the wrong bib, there could be an issue. Oh, bro, I seen
45 millimeter on the stack height on the
45. Thank you. I seen a reel. It was like this dude that was running, and somebody jumped on the course that worked for the course and was like, "Let me see your bib." And the guy had the bib like I'm sorry, I have it in my pocket.
Yeah.
And so he pulls out the bib, and it's just a paper printed bib. Like he's not even registered for the race. He just running the race. And then so before like they could like talk to him any further, he just took off running like out and like went in between the barricades and just took off running. I'm like, you might as well just let him finish. Like, who cares?
So I've always dreamed to run this marathon.
They discussed that, like why they don't let him finish, like in the
why don't they let him finish?
Because he's gonna get a medal, he's gonna get all their food, and they compared it to like if you go rent out a pavilion at the park, it's a public park, but you didn't rent that.
Yeah.
No free lunch.
Yeah.
Right.
Dang. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, why don't they just let him finish? He's gonna get a medal. He's gonna get Miami, bro. I didn't even like take advantage of of like the offerings. But you know how normally it's like banana, apple, like juice, and milk or something like that. They had like stacks and stacks of those portable black food trays with the little clear tops of meals, like full meals, bro.
Yeah.
They had a vegan stand. They had a vegan stand and a vegan section and all that. Like I didn't do any of it.
You didn't miss out. It was
I missed out.
It was very school lunchy.
I missed out. I had to.
They had turkey sandwiches. It was cool.
Oh no, they didn't. I seen some people eating it with like forks. It was like
pasta salad. It was okay.
Oh, okay.
I had all of it, bro. I tried it all. I'm like, I paid money, bro. I took one of each.
Like, oh no, we eating these. But yeah, it's favorite trainer, ASICS Super Blast. Check it out. If you want a shoe that you can long run.
They don't want you to be great.
If you want a shoe that you can long run, race, easy, all that stuff, this is a really great shoe. I think it's worth the money. You could have this shoe and then a race day shoe, and I feel like you can make it through a training block fairly well. That's it.
It's getting past my bedtime.
Yeah, I know, man. It's getting late. Real quick, because I feel like this is a really great way to end off the show. Thanks for watching. But then also, Gary, you are on the spotlight. Let's do this again.
Oh. Yeah, I have a link in my bio for the. Well, let me start this way. My son has Down syndrome. He just turned 10. He's the second of our 3 kids, and we have been supporting various Down syndrome associations throughout his life. Excuse me. Right now, I'm an athlete ambassador for the National Down Syndrome Society, where I wear their kits throughout the year for all my races. They've been supportive of the family, helping me out when they can on various issues for school and whatnot. And so when I get a chance to, I raise money for them. I put a link in my bio. If you guys are interested in learning more about the NDSS and contributing a few bucks here and there, anything's appreciated. And I'm always open to answer any questions about Down syndrome or Nicholas or my family. It's an open book here for us and our family. We love to talk about them. We love to talk about the Down syndrome. So please don't be afraid to ever ask me any questions about any of it at all, ever. Thank you.
Love it. Big shout out to Nicholas. He's great.
Big shout. But it's safe to say that Nicholas is your favorite son, though, because I think he's one of my. Don't tell Abigail, but I think
he's my favorite son.
I don't think Abigail is his son, so I think she.
Favorite kid. I mean, kid. I tell my kids all the time that they're my favorite. Like once when the other one's not around, Like
but you could say, Thomas, you're my favorite son. I've never.
Yeah. He does. He's like, man, you're my favorite. He's like, I'm your only son. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
See, and then but I gotta school Thomas to the game. I'll be like, he gotta hit you with it right back. Well, you're my favorite dad.
Oh,
when you quick on your feet, you gotta know that.
You might get Thomas beat up. Dog, my kids is at the age, bro, where they be saying stuff quick, kind of back. Yeah. I'm happy. I'm proud of them because like I talked enough junk their whole lives, so like now they starting to kind of like. But then at the wrong time, like, yo, I'm not playing with you right now. Like this is not a moment.
Like you created this,
right. Aaron,
now you have to deal with the consequences.
Right. Aaron like cut into me like sideways one day, like she said something quick back. I was like, oh, okay. This isn't. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. This is a one-way street, fella. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this show, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you go follow Gary's Running. Make sure you watch that reel that he got going. It's going crazy. Make sure you follow Aaron.
Aaron Worldwide, AARONWORLDWIDE. I haven't done this in a while. This is crazy. Aaron Worldwide on Instagram. Aaron Worldwide on TikTok. Follow.
What about you, Gary? How do the folks follow you? I'm
at Gary is a Runner on Instagram. I have a Twitter apparently I forgot about that popped up this week.
Let's not go look at some of those old tweets.
Let's not do that. We get the whole show canceled from something that you posted in 1922. I'm Tommy Israel. Oh, hey, my mom came down. My mom and my grandma came down to they're in Savannah, so they drove 7 hours to watch me run this half marathon. Really just watch me cross the finish line.
That's really why you was throwing up. trying to keep up with your mom out there on the strip.
Right. Yeah, she was going. She was ahead of me. I'm like, I can't lose to my mama. But yeah, no, it was a really great vibe. It was really cool to have him there. Thank you, Mom, for coming. Thank you, Mom, for watching the show as always. All right, y'all. Same time next week. And if y'all want us to talk about something in particular, if you want advice, here's the time to do it. So far, these first couple episodes have been kind of quiet, but let's get back in the rhythm. You guys got questions, ask. We are here to help and not just randomly ramble about stuff that we want to talk about. We want to help. We want to answer questions. We want to vibe with y'all. Don't be too scared to speak up and ask questions and get the topics rolling.
Yes, sir.
Namaste.
See you.